Shepherd with the Louisville Zoo, and we are here at Gorilla Forest on this great Tuesday morning. We miss you, but today we're going to be talking about zoo careers. Kathleen Johnson, one of our educators, is going to be interviewing Alexis Williamson, one of our gorilla keepers. But you too can be an interviewer by putting your questions in the comment section, and I'll be behind the camera throwing those questions out to these guys. And feel free to ask about gorillas, about Alexis' career, about hippos, about monkeys, because she cares for them all. Thanks to Ford and T-Mobile, our sponsors for the season, and here we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of Teaching Tuesday. We are so lucky today. Oh my goodness, we've been waiting all day to do this very special edition of Teaching Tuesday. So put on your hats, get into that education car of yours, and let's start driving. We are very fortunate and honored to have with us today one of our fantastic superstar keepers. This is Miss Alexis Williamson, and we've got all kinds of questions for you too, Miss Alexis, since you've been so kind to join us today in your very, very busy schedule. And I would like to start by just kind of throwing something interesting out there. What primate, something that's related to you and I, what primate has individual fingerprints, just like you and I and Miss Alexis, and also has individual nose prints? If you were to see a print of each and every one of these individuals, what animal could that possibly be? Let's think about that for a minute. And we've had a lot of interest in careers. This time of the year, teachers are thinking about what kinds of things might their kids be interested in doing in the future, Miss Alexis. And we know that zoo careers come up an awful lot, especially careers in taking care of animals. Caring for animals each and every day, doing training with animals, all those special things that we do. So we're going to give our viewers just a minute or two to answer that question. And we're also going to think about questions that you guys have for us. So, Miss Alexis, here we go. Would you please tell us how long you've been with the Louisville Zoo here? You and I have known each other many years. We're good friends.
Yes, we have.
And we've started off as friends in the education department. Now, our viewers out there might be wondering, Miss Alexis, to start off, why are you wearing that face mask? You know, we've all been talking about social distancing and staying safe from germs, but why specifically do you have to wear that face mask each and every day?
It's a very good question, and for this interview, I'm going to go ahead and take it off, just to make it easier to hear me.
Thank you.
That way you guys can see me as well. We do have to wear face masks. The animals that I care for are just as susceptible of getting this wonderful, awful disease that is going around right now, this coronavirus. So in order to protect them, not only do we do social distancing with the keepers and the other zoo staff, but we do it with our animals as well. We don't want them to get sick, just like we don't want to get sick. So we try to stay as far apart from them as we possibly can while still giving them the best care. And in the meantime, we do wear the mask all day long in order to help protect their safety.
Alexis, that is so very important. I am so glad that you brought that up. That's something that not many people know. Well, let's get into the heart of our interview here.
Okay.
So, how many years have you been with the Louisville Zoo?
I started at the Louisville Zoo 23 years ago. It's a very long time.
I'm blown away, Miss Alexis.
I know, me
I
too.
didn't realize you've been with us that long. Time flies.
It really does.
Doesn't it?
It does. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, and we mentioned that you and I worked together in the
We
education
did,
department
yes.
many years ago. But what other departments maybe are you familiar with here at the zoo?
I've actually worked in quite a few departments around the zoo. I started as a volunteer 23 years ago. I volunteered in our animal hospital because when I first started in my animal career, I actually wanted to be a veterinarian. I didn't necessarily want to work at the zoo. I wanted to work with animals and I wanted to be able to help them. And that was the only way I knew to help animals. As I progressed through my time volunteering, I learned a lot more about zookeeping and what it means to be a zookeeper. And I realized that that was really the heart and passion of what I wanted to do.
You know, it's really so cool, Miss Alexis, how people kind of find a career that fits them just right, something that's that you really care about, that you love, that you have a good team that you work with, both the animals and people.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that has a lot to do with it. You want to choose something that you're passionate about, something that you care so much about, and it looks like Miss Alexis has found her fit. What do you think, boys and girls? I think she does great here at the Louisville Zoo. And a lot of our audience is interested, Miss Alexis, in kind of what was your path here? You kind of mentioned that, but do you have an educational path that you followed as well as volunteering and working in different departments?
Absolutely. So as I said, planning on becoming a veterinarian, which is a very noble job, and it's a very, very important job, especially here at the Louisville Zoo. But I started going to college, so I graduated from high school, and I went to the University of Kentucky, and I got a bachelor's degree in animal science. And that was my path to move on to veterinary school. And before I went to veterinary school was when I changed my career path and decided to just stick it out where I am.
Well,
So after I stopped volunteering, I became a seasonal here at the zoo, and I worked in both our gift shop and our guest services departments, just working during the summer. And then I was fortunate enough that a job opened up, and I started working in our conservation center, which is where we breed and release black-footed ferrets back to the wild. And then after I left the conservation center was when I got to come work with you down in the vet zoo in our education department. It was a whole lot of fun.
thank you, Alexis. We think so too.
But unfortunately, that was not my career path. So I decided I needed to get back to the animal department, and I became a night keeper. So there are people at the zoo all night long. A lot of people don't realize that, but there's somebody at the zoo 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I did that for a few years, and then I went to the bird department, and now I'm here.
Great point. So day and night, we've got keepers here. Miss Kyle, do we have some questions or answers or comments coming in?
We don't just yet, so that's why I
Okay.
was going to hop in and remind everybody to go ahead. You can also be Alexis, her interviewer, if you want to put your questions in the comment section. Don't forget that. And for those of us who are just joining, for those of you who are just joining us, this is Teaching Tuesday. We're here at Gorilla Forest with Alexis Williamson.
All right. So Alexis,
Yes.
I would love to ask you this question because so many times people want to know from keepers. It's a burning question.
Great.
Please explain to us or recall a favorite memory you have working here at the zoo. I could hardly keep up with all the different areas you've worked at here at the zoo. It sounds like you've been here a million years, doing so many different things. So you must have a favorite memory or two you can share that really comes to mind.
I do. I've had a lot of great memories here. Some of the time that I was working in the education department, I really enjoyed working with the kids and being able to teach them new things. Working in our bird department, I worked in our lorikeet exhibit, so getting that face time with the guests, with you guys, being able to teach you about the animals. But probably my most memorable, it is my favorite memory of all, as well as one of the saddest times that I've been through at the zoo, was when we raised Kendi, our little baby gorilla. For those of you who don't know, poor little Kendi's mom passed away the day after she was born. So we did have to step in and care for her for several months. We were fortunate that we were able to find a surrogate mom here at the zoo that would take her and raise her as a gorilla. But in the meantime, we had to get her to the point to be able to hand her over. So we did some hand raising with her. It was an amazing time. I was very upset for the reason why we had to do it, but I would never give up that opportunity to be able to do that. And it's a lasting memory that I will have for the rest of my life.
Miss Alexis, you guys worked so hard to make sure that Kendi had the best possible start in life, coming from a circumstance that was very sad. As you
Yes.
mentioned, zookeepers, trainers have one of the hardest jobs in the world. I'm completely convinced. The long hours, but there's dedication, there's enthusiasm, there's so many fantastic things. And it looks like Kendi's getting bigger, she's thriving. She's over 4 years old now. So for those of you who are
She's getting so
amazed,
big.
4 years old. Miss Kyle, do we have any questions or comments coming in? Any questions for Miss Alexis yet?
Not just yet.
Well, I've got some more, and we're counting on you guys to add a question or two. Okay, so Miss Alexis, we know that there are lots of ups and funds and good times and great things, but what are some of the challenges of working in your position here at the zoo or any of the positions that you've been in? Things can be difficult sometimes. You
Absolutely.
mentioned losing Kendi's mom. Any other maybe day-to-day challenges that you face?
Absolutely. So people come to the zoo and they see zookeepers and they look at us as we have this amazing job. We get to come in here and we get to play with the animals all day long.
I've heard that.
And yes, to a certain extent, we do have a wonderful job. We do get to spend time around these fantastic animals. However, that's not the entirety of our job. There's a lot that goes into being a zookeeper. And there's a lot of physical and mental requirements to that. So we have to work in all kinds of weather. If it's raining, we still have to come in and we have to take care of the animals in the rain. If it's cold and snowy, we still have to come in and take care of the animals in the cold and snow. So there's lots of things. We have to be able to climb up on the tops of the exhibits and clean shelves or clean rocks that are in the exhibits. We have to be able to do all of that physical stuff. And then there's the mental aspect. So the animals that I work with are very intelligent animals. And we have to be able to think along with them and be able to give them the best care possible.
That's an amazing opinion right there. So much going on every single day. I think we have a question, Ms. Kyle. Please.
Not quite, but we had a technical difficulty early on, so
I'm
we
so sorry.
figured out why there weren't a lot of questions coming in.
Please.
So if we could just re-rack where we are and who we're talking to and what we're doing, because we've just gone live on a Facebook watch party on our own page because we had a technical difficulty early.
That's all right. We're happy to do that. So,
Absolutely.
once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to introduce my amazing, great friend. This is Miss Alexis Williamson, a keeper here with our gorillas and pygmy hippos. And my name is Miss Kathleen. Welcome to Teaching Tuesday. Today we're talking about some very special things. Our guest star, our superstar today is Miss Alexis, so we're going to let her do a lot of the talking. I'm going to ask her a few questions here. Please ask us some questions, anything you might be interested in terms of careers or something that Alexis can share that you may not know about. And Miss Alexis, I do recall you, trooping through the rain with umbrellas, raincoats, parkas, boots, shovels, hoses, bales of hay, lifting, stooping, bending, carrying. It's a very physically demanding job, which
It
not
is
many
a very
people
physically demanding
might
job.
be aware.
Absolutely.
And, speaking of working in a zoo, so many people work together to make it all happen.
Absolutely.
And we've got a community out there, the AZA, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. That's our kind of governing body. They oversee us. And not too long ago, Miss Alexis, who's very humble, she's very humble, but I'm going to brag on her a little bit here. She won a special award back in 2019, and she got to go to a conference and receive a special award in front of all of her peers from all over the country. We'll let her talk about that. And Ms. Kyle, do we have a question real quickly? Or?
No, I was just letting you know that that your photo is up of the
my
award.
Goodness.
So.
Okay, so a very, very proud moment for Miss Alexis. And we'll let you kind of describe how that felt and what your award is all about.
Thank you. So the organization that I've been a part of since I became a zookeeper is the American Association of Zookeepers. And what that is it's a group of keepers around the world who come together, and we have conferences every year where we can come together and share information. That way everybody is keeping up to date on the newest, greatest things that we can do to take care of our animals. And yes, I was last year, in 2019, I was given an award. It's called the Zookeeper of the Year Award. It was a very proud moment. I was very excited. And yeah, it was an amazing feeling. It's voted on by my peers, so that was a great feeling. I put in a lot of work, not just here at the zoo, but I do a lot of work with the Association of Zookeepers. Outside, we raise money. We do different fundraisers, raising money for conservation, so that we can help out the wild animals out there that are left, and what is left of the wild, because there's not a lot of that left, unfortunately. So we do what we can to try to help them out. And then we share that information. So I've given a couple of presentations about different papers that I've written, about some of the animals that I care for. That's kind of what
Miss
I'm
Alexis,
for.
the papers that you wrote, are these papers available somewhere out there for people to read on? If we have some students who are a little bit older, maybe middle or high school, to get an idea of what you do and what your presentations were all about?
I'm sure they're out there somewhere.
Okay.
I believe if you are a member of the Association of Zookeepers, they do keep conference proceedings.
Okay.
So those papers are available through that. And I do have copies myself, so if somebody were to contact the zoo and wanted to copy of that, we can make sure that happens for them.
Fantastic. I think that would be a good career exploration, right?
Absolutely.
Thinking about, winning awards and going to conferences. That's amazing. Well-deserved and well-earned, Miss Alexis.
Thank you.
We're so proud of you.
Thank
Oh my
you.
goodness. This is great. It's like it practically brings me to tears thinking how happy that was. When we first started, you were wearing a mask, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, that is concerning some, safety with our health. Here at the Louisville Zoo, safety is a big concern for everybody.
Absolutely.
So what are some special things you do every day to make sure, keeper staff are safe and the animals are safe and our guests are safe?
That's a very good question. So during these trying times that we have right now, we are doing social distancing, not only from other staff, but from our animals as well, because we don't want them to get sick either. So we try to give them some space so that we don't share our germs with them. We also are working some different shifts so that we're not sharing germs with our coworkers. We are disinfecting in between crews so that people are staying as clean and safe as possible. When we do reopen, we will be doing social distancing with the guests as well,
Right.
making sure that they are safe, and everything that we can possibly.
That's a great priority. Miss Kyle, have we a question?
We actually don't, but I'm
Oh.
showing a food toss, so I'm gonna
Yes.
have Alexis would talk about what we're seeing.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
So what you're seeing right now is our bachelor group, and we have 4 boys who live in this bachelor group. They are 2 pairs. One is an uncle-nephew pair, and one is a half-brother pair. And they live together here at the Louisville Zoo. They are all in their young 20s. And what they are doing is they are foraging for food. So foraging is a natural behavior for these guys, where they would go around their habitat and they would search for things like seeds or berries. They would dig through the grass, maybe pull them off of trees. So we simulate that kind of stuff for these guys by spreading things out for them to search for. So one of my coworkers actually went up onto the rooftop and spread some things out into the yard for these guys to come out here and forage for.
Yes.
Which leads us to our next question that someone just asked. Wanda wants to know, what do gorillas eat?
So very good question. So gorillas are vegetarians. So anybody who has seen a gorilla up close, maybe through a window or even on TV, you may know that they have some very large teeth, and you may think that they would eat meat with those teeth, just like a tiger would. However, those teeth are mainly for protection. So these guys eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, lettuces. So here at the Louisville Zoo, we give 2 different types of lettuce and 2 different types of vegetable every day, and it rotates so that they don't get bored with the same salad every day. And then we also offer them lots of different things to keep them entertained. So things like foraging, it's a natural behavior. We want to spread things like sunflower seeds or berries, small things that they can go around and pick up. And we also offer them browse every day. For those of you who don't know what browse is tree leaves. So we go out and we cut down tree branches and we hand it to them, either putting it into their exhibit space before they shift in there, or maybe hanging it through a enclosed space from a safe distance. And they will eat the leaves off of those branches, and sometimes they will even strip the bark off of those branches. All of that is natural behaviors that is good for these guys to be able to keep up with.
Wow, Miss Alexis, it sounds like a bountiful, tasty diet full of
It really
fresh
does.
fruits and vegetables, just bursting with colors and flavors. Boys and
Absolutely.
girls out there, how many of you guys, be honest, how many of you guys have an eating plan that's that healthy and delicious? Our animals here get really great things to eat.
Absolutely, and all of the fruits and vegetables and lettuces that we offer to these guys, all of the food, not just for our gorillas, but for all of our animals throughout the zoo, is restaurant-grade quality food. So it's the same stuff that you would go out and buy if you went to a restaurant or a grocery store.
Well, my stomach is starting to growl just thinking about all those tasty things our gorillas are eating and all of our animals here in the zoo. Okay, Miss Alexis, boys and girls out there, you may have noticed if you've got animals at home, they tend to have different temperaments, different, different ways they interact with each other and with people. And just like you and I might interact with each other. Some people are a little bit more shy, some people are more outgoing, those types of things. What can you tell us about the different animals you work with and maybe how they differ individually, just like you and I might differ in terms of our temperaments or things like that.
Absolutely. So all of these animals have their own individual personalities, and they are very easy to tell apart based on those personalities if you know them. So things like Jelani, who you saw during our food toss out here. Jelani is a very social gorilla.
Right.
He likes to come up to the window, and once the zoo reopens, you may come and visit, and you may see somebody sitting in front of a gorilla with their cell phone.
I've done that myself.
Lots of people
Yeah.
have. Some people even bring in books. Jelani likes to look at pictures. So sometimes Jelani will come up and interact through the glass, and you will look at those photos. He enjoys doing that. Little Miss Kendi, our superstar, is very fearless. She runs around, and she's just like a normal 4-year-old. She's got a lot of energy. Nobody can keep up with her. She's jumping off of things, flying all over the place, climbing to the tops of the exhibits. Wherever she can go, that's where she goes.
That's so cool. Maybe some of you guys out there can relate to some of our gorilla's personalities. Are you
Absolutely.
social? Do you like to look at pictures, interact with people? Are you really super duper active? You like to play in those playgrounds, climbing, jumping, just having a ball. Something for everybody here in terms of our animals' personalities. Now, Miss Alexis, we also have up and coming possible zookeepers trainers.
Yes.
Who might wonder, what kinds of tools would you use every day? Do you have certain equipment or technology that you work with?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of different things you need to do to be able to do this job every day. Probably the most important tools of a zookeeper are right here.
Oh, wow.
We use our hands all the time. A lot of that is picking up and cleaning up after the animals. Sometimes it's climbing up on things to be able to clean things. We've got to be able to do a lot of stuff. We may have to fix things.
Okay.
So we have a maintenance department that can come and fix things if they break. But there may be small things that we need to be able to just fix right away. Maybe we need to retie a rope that's holding up an enrichment toy or something like that. So we use our hands a lot. We also have radios. So we have these fancy radios in order to be able to keep track of each other. So for the safety of the keepers, we have these to be able to communicate back and forth very quickly with each other. That way we know where everybody is. And then the normal tools that you would think of, rakes and shovels and wheelbarrows and brooms and all that kind of fun stuff.
Right.
We also have safety equipment. So when we're climbing up high, like up on the gorilla shelves, we have harnesses that we have to wear. That way if we fall off the shelf, we're not going to get hurt.
So you're always attached to something.
Always attached to something.
Safety is so important
Safety
here.
is very important.
And we appreciate you taking your safety measures each and every day
Absolutely.
along with your other colleagues. Okay, Ms. Alexis, a really, really important question for so many people out there, especially, our viewers who are just a little bit older. If there are people who are interested in doing what you're doing currently, they're inspired by what you've just told them and showed them, what would be a good starting point? What do you recommend that our boys and girls out there would do to become a zookeeper trainer?
That's a great question. And there are a lot of opportunities that you have in order to work your way into this job field. The first thing I can tell you to do is you should volunteer.
Right.
We have a very strong volunteer program here at the Louisville Zoo. And you can start volunteering when you are 13 years old. And if you are 13 and you want to start volunteering, or maybe you're only 11 or 12 and you're starting to think that that might be what you want to do, they start taking those volunteer applications really early, so you want to get those in as soon as you possibly can. Once you're a little bit older, once you start into college, we do have internship programs.
Wow.
Now these internships are unpaid positions, so
Okay.
it's still a volunteer position,
That's all right.
but you do get college credit for those positions. And what those internships job here at Louisville opens up, you can always come back home.
Oh, right, that's true.
So-
That's true. So, Miss Alexis, I'm hearing that it's really important maybe to volunteer,
Absolutely.
to kind of get yourself known, show yourself to be a responsible, enthusiastic person. A lot of people who work at the zoo now that have a paying position did start off as volunteers. And get your foot in that door.
Absolutely.
Right? And maybe some of you guys out there have actually volunteered someplace before. Keep that in mind as something really important. Ms. Kyle, do we have any more questions out there?
We don't, but why don't you remind everyone that they can start volunteering here at 13?
I think Ms. Alexis
Okay,
mentioned that,
great.
starting at age 13. We welcome those volunteers. I started off as a volunteer years ago here at the zoo and found myself in a good place as well.
A very large amount of our zoo staff, whether it's animal keepers or educators, a lot of our staff started out as volunteers.
Yes, Ms. Kyle?
I have a question for Alexis
Please.
on my own.
Okay.
We're not getting any questions right now, but if you would want someone to know one thing about your career, if they wanted to take one thing away, what would that be?
The passion. Everything that I do is to give the animals that I care for the best life that they could possibly have, and to impart upon the guests how important it is that these guys are ambassadors for their wild counterparts. So what I want you to do is I want you to come to the Louisville Zoo, and I want you to come and visit my gorillas, and I want you to see how amazing they are, and then I want you to ask, what can I do to help them? Because gorillas are endangered. So are pygmy hippos. A lot of the animals that we care for here at the zoo are endangered. So you need to come and you need to have that connection with the animals here at the zoo to make you have that passion to want to help them in the wild. And there are a lot of things that you can do from right here in Louisville. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to spend time traveling to another country. There are things you can do here in Louisville to be able to help their wild counterparts over in Africa.
Miss Alexis, that sounds like such wise advice spoken from somebody who shows great love and interest in what you do each and every day. And yes, our creatures are amazing. They're beautiful. They're fascinating to see and observe. We can't get enough of them. That's one of the best parts of our jobs. You know, just looking at the animals, observing and enjoying every single day. Yes.
It's almost 2:30.
Oh, no.
So we're going to start wrapping up. Is there anything that you want anyone else to know or that we forgot to ask you that you might want to talk about?
The main thing I can talk about that we haven't discussed already is just kind of touching on that conservation message and that passion. Come in, learn about our gorillas, and then ask us. Ask any employee at the zoo what you can do to help them. One of the biggest things you can do is there's a company right here in Louisville called EcoCell. And what they do is they recycle cell phones. So they can go in and they can take your broken cell phone that doesn't work anymore, and instead of you throwing it away, they can take those valuable minerals that are actually mined from the gorillas' homes in Africa, and they can recycle those so that they don't have to go out and get those from the wild. So come and learn. That's something that you don't have to do. You don't have to spend money to do that. All you have to do is bring that broken cell phone or that old cell phone that doesn't work anymore, bring it to the Louisville Zoo and drop it off. We have boxes here that we can collect them in and get them to EcoCell. That is one of the easiest things that you can do right here in Louisville without having to spend any money.
Terrific conservation message to give us something positive to look forward to, something positive that we can all do to make a big, huge difference for these beautiful animals that you care for every single day, Miss Alexis. On the cool scale of 1 to 10, this interview with you was about a 15 today. How are we ever going to top this next week for Teaching Tuesday? We're really going to have to think hard on that one. And once again, thank you, Miss Alexis, from our hearts for spending your valuable time with us today, giving us something so cool to think about and learn about. And we look forward to meeting you again. Questions?
We have a last minute question
Last
coming
minute
in.
question.
Last minute questions, we love those. And sorry, guys, there's a little bit of a delay on here. That's why
It's
we're
all right.
probably just getting your question, Daryl. How does being a keeper affect your personal life with your family? It's a good
That's
question.
a good question. So working with gorillas, anybody who has been to the Louisville Zoo or any zoo that has gorillas, you may remember walking into the gorilla exhibit area and getting a smell. So gorillas are very stinky animals. And after you work with gorillas all day, guess what? You kind of stink too. It's just part of the job. It's fun.
We're watching.
I don't notice it, but guess what? My husband does. So when I go home, it's, hi, honey,
I didn't mention that was your husband because I didn't see his last name. So that question came from your husband, Daryl.
Yay! Yes.
Thanks,
Shout
Daryl.
out. Shout out to husbands and wives and spouses and everybody out there, family.
There's something really nice.
That was a great question. Thank you. Well, thanks for joining us today. We'll be live again tomorrow with Creature Feature. We're going to show an armadillo tomorrow. I was going to show you some gorillas, but they walked away. And then Thursday we'll be live on Lift Up Louisville's page at 11 and also on our page at 11. This is going to be fun. We're going to take some small outreach animals out to visit the monkeys. So that will be exciting. And some of the monkeys are also who Alexis cares for as well. And then Friday, of course, is Fitz Friday at 2 p.m. So thanks to Ford and T-Mobile, and thank you. We miss you guys. Keep social distancing, keep washing your hands, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.